Alright, here, City Hall, Omaha, Nebraska. Cunningham about to do a press conference announcing his running for City Council. Just waiting on a couple more people before he gets started. We'll record a little bit of question and answer afterwards. Yeah, I recorded just because some people were tuning in.
Alright.
We've got 2 viewers. We'll get started here in just a few minutes.
Alright, welcome. We're ready to begin. I would like to start by thanking all of you for attending today and those of you watching online. I have a prepared statement and I will take questions immediately after. First off, I am here today to announce my campaign for the City Council seat in District 3. As a lifelong Omahan, I am proud of my city, but I am not always so proud of those who run it. I read articles from Forbes, Fortune, to the Wall Street Journal extolling the virtues of Omaha as one of the best places in America to live. I see locally produced commercials parroting the message of Omaha's success as a municipality. I see our elected officials, from the mayor to city councilmen, bask in self-praise as they take credit for making Omaha one of these so-called best cities in the country. Omaha may well be one of the best cities in the country, but only for those who are the Forbes, Fortune, and Wall Street types. While some may look at progress from the Forbes, Fortune, and Wall Street point of view, I am here to tell you that committing our city to their views of progress will only lead the people of Omaha to ruin. Omaha's City Council and Mayor parallel our Congress and President at a national level. While they break their arms patting themselves on the back for all this progress, they fail to see the destruction it brings upon those they are meant to serve. While Congress is busy bailing out banks who plunder and steal people's homes, our City Council is equally busy handing out our tax dollars to big land developers and corporations in the forms of tax cuts and abatements. While Congress and the President commit our resources and citizens to war in the name of spreading democracy, which is really a war for control, our leaders here commit us to a phony war on crime, which is really a war on the poor. In this day and age, unlimited political donations have turned public servants into private stooges. Politicians with strings attached, competitions, if you will. Those who seek office have abandoned the guiding principle of public service. Others over self, prosperity over plunder, people over profit. What our forefathers worked to build, a country by and for the people, has devolved into a country run as a for-profit venture by the financial elite. This was never meant to be tolerated by the people. With this current civic operating system of profit over people, you see a city that is content to guard the welfare of its citizens with the most expensive homes, yet cares nothing for the welfare of those who have lost or struggled to keep their homes. In our current mode, even help for the homeless can't go untouched by the finance and real estate industries. In our current plan from our mayor's office being pushed to the City Council right now, with the goal of ending homelessness in 10 years, plans to offer help to those on the verge of homelessness or new homeowners by providing them with affordable loans. Not only has this idea proved to cause homelessness, it has proven to be a publicly financed windfall for private corporate interests. Recall the catastrophic affordable home loan failures of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, Countrywide, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Banks got bailed out and we got sold out. Not only are people still reeling from the shock and stigma of foreclosure, but a new batch of homeowners and would-be homeowners are being prepped for predatory but legal loans. Is our mayor so naive to think his plan will end homelessness? He makes 6 figures a year, so he must be a smart guy. This plan is not coming from some place of sympathy for those on hard times. It is a cold and calculated effort to fleece and impoverish the people, funded at their own expense. Home ownership should be a right, and until that right is recognized, all attempts to secure people safely and comfortably in their homes are veiled attempts by cabals of bankers, landlords, and price fixers to exert dominion over the working people of Omaha. No bank should have the authority to put you out on the street due to an inability to pay due to illness or lack of sustainable work. If we want to end homelessness in Omaha, give people homes, not loans. Another gross example of our failed civic operating system of profit over people is the lack of accountability we have in our public servants. I'm sure they would rather be called public officials, but officially, they are public servants. We, the people, are their bosses. They answer to us, not the other way around. What we have on our hands is a massive abuse of power by our public servants at many levels. While the financial abuses inflicted on us by our mayor and city council may go unnoticed, no other area of public service has been responsible for the physical abuse of the people more so than the Omaha Police Department. Calling our public officials' handling of police misconduct a failure is too kind. When a city councilman can watch one of his constituents be attacked by 12 officers attempting to take him into custody and not realize there is a problem with police abusing power, he is not ignorant of the problem, he is complicit in it. When 7 people on the city council can be aware of the same problem and not once move to take immediate action to ensure the safety of the citizens by prioritizing independent oversight, even after it is recommended by the community, studies from local criminology experts, and the United Nations. Even after all this, and the City Council still remains inactive on the issue, it becomes criminal to claim negligence of a solution. Nearly 1 year ago today, I was in a meeting called by victims of police abuse, where Ben Gray and Chris Jerem were invited to attend. Gray was nowhere to be seen, yet the meeting was in his own district. Jerem was at the meeting as nothing more than a political opportunist. He sat and heard first-hand accounts of police overstepping their authority and trumping up charges to cover up physical abuse towards citizens. At the end of the meeting, Jerem only agreed to another public meeting with members of the Public Safety Committee, but they would not take questions from nor respond to the public. This is what counts for public service: a problem and a solution staring you in the face, and all they want to do is talk. Those oppressed by OPD are sick to death of talk, and the time for talk is over. We demand nothing less than immediate action on independent oversight of OPD and charges brought on officers who break the law. A badge, weapons, and body armor do not put one above the law, and to act so is criminal, and even the police should be treated as such. Independent oversight of OPD is a mechanism for accountability and justice for the people. OPD's main weapons against the poor and racial minorities, aka those least likely to afford adequate legal defense, are not guns, nightsticks, or tasers. They are in fact exaggerated charges of obstruction, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and worst of all, assault on an officer, which is a felony. From day one that I am put into office, I will work to fund the auditor position as well as work to review and revise OPD's budget and standard operating procedures. Procedures currently kept from the public that allow for needless surveillance of citizens and erroneous divisions of labor in OPD. Until my would-be colleagues on the City Council see fit to prioritize independent oversight, I will work to pressure the county's attorney's office to drop all charges or put a moratorium on those facing standard cover-up charges. If our public servants are unwilling to safeguard the public's physical well-being, how can they be expected to handle the city's financial and technical well-being? While our socio-economic system crumbles around us, so does our infrastructure. The increasingly regular water main breaks and explosive sewers of Omaha could one day give way to crumbling freeways as seen as Minneapolis a few years back. Our main form of energy production comes from a degenerating nuclear plant under investigation for safety violations. As jobs and resources move further away from the city center, we maintain the profit over people operating system by building structures and neighborhoods that pollute and drain resources, and policies that entrench the problem. Omaha does not yet have the massive traffic jams of larger cities, but if we continue to build our cities out and not up, build them on developer specs and not human need, we will no doubt be stuck with more outdated modes of construction and transportation as the cost to remedy this problem will continue to rise. Omaha needs a new master plan with metrics based on the current and projected needs of the people of Omaha, not real estate speculators or commercial developers' desires for profits. Our energy production should look to Iowa as a model in renewable forms of energy. Iowa is now ranked number 2 in the nation for wind energy production. While Nebraska is ranked higher in wind energy potential, what is the holdup in bringing renewable energy to Nebraska? It comes back to the flawed profit over people idea. Union Pacific, Kiewit, and BNSF Railways, owned by Warren Buffett, and Berkshire Hathaway make outstanding profits in mining and hauling coal, while also speculating and trading energy commodities. We cannot kill our environment to earn a living. If our environments die, then we will die as well. Building renewable energy generators will provide for jobs and eliminate the harm to our health and environment from mining and burning finite resources. As we endeavor to build a more functionally perfect city, we must also build a functional local economy. Omaha's largest employment sectors are healthcare and education, followed by financial services. After this, there is a considerable drop-off in the next highest sector, food and retail. Even lower in employment numbers is our manufacturing sector. While our largest concentration of employment is healthcare and education, these jobs don't add goods to the economy, only a service. When the Forbes, Fortune, and Wall Street types say Omaha is a good place to do business, they are referring to Omaha's FIRE sector job. FIRE stands for finance, insurance, and real estate. This industry has been heavily courted at public expense in the form of tax cuts and abatements at the state and city level, boosted by the Omaha Chamber of Commerce working in partnership with the mayor and council's office. So while there may be all these articles mentioning Omaha weathering the newest national depression, which it should be noted we are past levels of wealth inequality not seen since the Great Depression, our job numbers are really padded by an industry that grows like cancer and also provides no tangible products to our local economy, only publicly insured speculation for elitists. Local ownership of restaurants, retailers, and manufacturers has been eaten up by corporate chains or outsourced for a better deal in a more Forbes, Fortune, Wall Street friendly locale. Jobs which were once able to support families on one person's income sound like a wish from a magic lamp nowadays. When you consider how much of the Omaha workforce is dependent upon speculation and consumption, it is terrifying to realize we have no real economy at all. Only drones for corporations who take advantage of Omaha, Nebraska's 40-plus year, privately pushed, publicly funded efforts to devalue labor. Our leaders revel in their ability to whip Omaha's workers to work harder for less, while a few sadistic job creators and stooge middlemen pillage the profits made by those who labor. Once elected, I would work to grow Omaha's manufacturing sector and give incentives to mom-and-pops merchants, not out-of-town chains. No more TIF funding to build Walmarts, Targets, or far-flung commercial strips devoid of function and character. It is time to invest in our own people and unleash their creative and entrepreneurial energies. While this is an easy first step to create a sustainable economy in Omaha, we will need to initiate more creative and adaptive forms of employment for our citizens without relying on outside entities to employ our people. One idea to transfer our local economy from one of speculation and consumption is to create a new sector I call urban food production. I'm not speaking of community gardens. I'm speaking of large-scale, publicly owned and operated structures capable of growing food indoors that can feed entire cities. Urban high-rise farming would offer year-round employment as the produce requires seeding, growing, harvesting, packaging, and transportation. This would also give the people of Omaha an added health benefit with locally grown natural food, not poisonous but profitable GMOs, which are nearly inescapable. It would also allow for adaptation in the growth of our city to deal with the effects on climate change. 50% of Nebraska was in a drought last year, one of the worst in the nation. Last year's drought has already affected this year's prices for yields and cattle. Too much produce died from lack of water, which will lead to increases in food prices. It is not inconceivable to think that large-scale outdoor food production may be increasingly difficult in the coming years. If we commit to addressing these problems head-on now, we can minimize the harm from our own negative effects on the earth. While this only begins to get at a few of the key issues of my campaign, I assure you that no matter the issue, I will be on the side of the people. I will be for real solutions, not putting Band-Aids on problems, throwing enough money at them hoping they will go away. I will keep my fellow public servants accountable. I will never forget that the privilege to serve in office means that I am here for the good of the public, not the good of myself. To those who struggle to pay the bills, I say to you, you have a servant in me. To those who face violence and oppression from police, I say to you, you have a servant in me. To those who live, love, and worship differently, to those who sleep on friends' couches in rough times, and to those who put up friends on couches in rough times, from the child with no hope to the man at the end of his rope, I say to all who resist oppression and choose love, you have a servant in me. For those who have been kept in bondage to the masters of profit in Omaha, let this be the day they knew that though they rob us, that we the people are not poor. Though they beat us down, we the people are not defeated. Once we the people realize that we are unstoppable, a better world will be possible. If we do not change the way we conduct ourselves or our city, keeping our aspirations towards selfish gain and control instead of human need and collaboration, then we are doomed to repeat our mistakes while the symptoms of profit over people degrade and dehumanize us. Apathy leads to entropy, death. There is no sideline anymore. We will work towards our mutual benefit or our mutual destruction. The choice is ours. If you, like me, intend to work for your family, friends, and neighbors' benefit, I ask you to first go to the polls April 2nd and cast your vote for someone who will work with and for you, not against you. Those who are upset with the way your government is run should no longer be content to protest outside. It's time to start coming inside and letting the workers of plunder know the people mean business. We, the people, will prevail. Thank you for your time.
Woo!
Do you have any questions? Yeah.
April? You said you grew up in Omaha. What school did you go to?
I actually went to North, and then I had to drop out and get my GED and start working full time.
What kind of work?
I've worked in fast food and retail. I've worked in call centers. I've worked in meat packing plants. I've worked in arenas. I've worked in insurance. I've done wealth management. I've done a lot of things.
And what do you do right now?
I'm currently unemployed, but I'm self-employed as a photographer.
Okay. What type of photography?
Portraits, commercials, residential photography. I do pretty much all of it.
And how long have you done that?
As a hobby, since I was 14, as a profession, probably the last 2 years.
Okay. And have you turned in all your formal paperwork yet?
Not yet. I'm currently still gathering my signatures
Okay.
to turn in with my registration form.
And how's that progressing? When do you think you'll have enough?
I'm having a campaign kickoff tonight, so I'm hoping I can at least get half of the signatures I need tonight, and the rest I plan to get the next month before the March 1st deadline.
Hey, Deshaun, Crystal says you did a great job.
Thanks, Crystal.
You talked about a lot of different issues on a very small scale. What do you think is the biggest issue facing your district?
District 3 is home to a lot of the city's major businesses, but it's also home to a lot of working class people. It probably has the largest concentration of homeless people. And I would say the biggest problem affecting people in District 3 is that there are less jobs in this country overall than there were in 1980. So there are not enough jobs to support home ownership. But our city is encouraging home ownership plans that mimic failed plans from, like I said, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and the Countrywide and the Bank of America loans. So to push a system that has already failed but has proven to be a financial boon for land developers, bankers, speculators, that is a major problem I see facing District 3. People being forced out of their homes by gentrification in the name of progress.
And if you were elected, what do you think would be some of the first things you'd do to fix that particular problem?
The first thing I would do is work to halt or reverse the mayor's current plan to provide affordable loans I think a lot of people agree this would be something that we could cut spending on and put it towards something that's an actual solution to keep people in their homes long term and not just up until they can pay the mortgage in our foreclosure.
And when did you decide to run?
I've actually always leaned political. Growing up, I was actually kind of on the other side of things, but I got older and had my own life experiences and realized that there's no Democrat help, there's no Republican help. Both parties are beholden to private interests, like I said, that use public resources to line their pockets.
There's no justice.
There's no justice. There's a lot of things wrong. But the day I had thought of running for the last couple months, but what actually pushed me over the edge was I came down here to speak against an empty resolution they wanted to pass on violence in North Omaha. You know, they want to pass a lot of these resolutions that don't get at the heart of the problem. It's things to pay lip service to it, make it look like as if they're actually doing something and not doing anything. And I came down to call them out on that. And Ben Gray, who I think I've probably been the most critical of on the council due to his handling of, or mishandling of reports of violence among his constituents, he was the one that became upset and had me removed for questioning them on carrying out this empty resolution as opposed to working on an actual solution. So that day after that, I decided, you know, I'm done getting kicked out. They're going to do it now. They're going to have to do it while I'm on the council.
Is this the first time you've run for public office?
Any office, yes.
Started from the ground up.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Is it still going?
Yeah, you want me to sign off?
Alright. Yeah, thanks everybody out there for watching, and I know everybody else will be able to see this later, so like I said, this is the start of something big and something pretty unprecedented. I'm not the only person that used to be an Occupy member that's seeking office. There's a few of us around there, and I hope that many of us will take that next step into public service, moving beyond protesting. We can still protest, we can still be radical, we can still be against the system, but if I'm in there, I plan to be more a cog in the wheel, or no, yeah, more a monkey wrench than a cog in the wheel.
There you go.
So, like I said, I thank you for everyone for checking it out. I'll be seeing you guys on the streets. I'll see you guys later tonight. Thank you all for being here. So, get to work, everybody.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all for watching. Signing off.
All right, now I owe you all $1. I know I said that.